everybody, welcome back to my channel. I've just returned to Kuwait after spending 2 wonderful months with my family in Dubai. It's always nice to be back home, but as you know, coming back from a long trip usually means there's a lot to reset and organize. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you some of the things I did to get back into the groove. It's a bit of a home reset, so let's jump right in and get started. So this was the day I flew back to Kuwait about 2 weeks ago. I remember looking out of the plane window and seeing this stunning view of Dubai. It felt like the whole city was shining, almost like it was dressed up in ornaments. It was so beautiful, but at the same time, my heart felt really heavy knowing I was leaving my family behind. I always get that feeling when the flight takes off, just looking down and realizing how far away I am from them. But that's life, right? So we just hold on to the good memories, and I'm just thankful that we are all safe and in a good place, alhamdulillah. So we reached back late at night, and the next morning I jumped right into unpacking. I didn't film that part because honestly I wasn't in the mood and felt a bit lazy. This time we bought back an air purifier from the brand Levoit, and it's amazing. We were really impressed with its performance. You can see in this video the red ring on top is showing because we had turned on the bhatura, the incense, and that's when the air purifier fan speeds up to clear the air. Normally when the air is clean, the light turns blue, but the last few days have been super humid here in Kuwait, so the air quality wasn't great and the light turned orange. It also detects things like cooking smells. If you fry something, it picks up on that and works harder to clear the air. I've noticed that the smell of fried food disappears really quickly too. I'm seriously loving this air purifier and highly recommend it to anyone considering getting one. This is how we store our luggage. We keep it under the bed. We have this convenient storage space under the bed, so we just place everything neatly there, and it keeps the bags out of sight. I'm not a fan of keeping luggage on top of the wardrobe, so this is a great solution for storing. The next day we headed to the supermarket to pick up some basics. We had ordered most of our groceries online since the kitchen was almost empty, especially the fridge. But there were a few things I wanted to buy in person, like these cereals. My youngest loves cereals, but it's been a while since I bought any because most brands like Nestle and others are on our boycott list. This time I found some new brands like Morrison's and Poppins. So I got that, and I also grabbed some snacks for the kids, chicken and few other essentials before we headed back home. Before I started cooking, the first thing I did was make a batch of ginger garlic paste. I picked up some peeled garlic from the supermarket because honestly I don't have the patience to peel it myself. So I combined ginger, garlic, a bit of water and some oil, then blended it all until smooth. I've shown this method a couple of times in my previous vlogs and it really works. The paste doesn't change color for days. I'll include the link to this recipe in the description if you're interested. With the remaining garlic, I decided to chop it up in the chopper because for some dishes I prefer using chopped garlic instead of the paste, and sometimes I only need garlic, so this is convenient. I usually store chopped garlic in ice cube trays, but this time I opted to put it in a Ziploc bag and flatten it out really well and freeze it. This way I can easily break off just the amount of garlic I need whenever I'm cooking. I also stored about 10 or 15 whole garlic in the freezer too. I wanted to show you some of the edible gifts that my sweetest ever sister, mashallah, gave us. First, she packed these beautiful homemade butter cookies. I absolutely loved how she presented them, and the cookies themselves were amazing, literally melting in the mouth with just the right amount of sweetness. They were so good, and this whole tin was gone in 2 days. One of the best cookies I've had in my life, I must say that. She also made us some chunky chocolate chip and pistachio cookies, which were equally delicious. Alhamdulillah for my sister. May Allah bless her with a long life and all the happiness. Please do keep her in your prayers. It would mean a lot to me. Then I had some drawer and wardrobe reorganization to do. I had some laundry to fold and put away, and I worked on tidying up the drawers and everything. Normally, I clean the entire house before traveling, but this time I didn't have the time to do that before leaving for vacation. So the house was a bit messy in various corners. I needed to do a semi deep clean to get everything back in order. As you can see, the biggest mess was in the kids' room. Their toys were scattered everywhere. It was really out of control. I decided to tackle it before school starts. So, first up was Omar's kitchen set, which had turned into a bit of a dump yard. It was filled with all sorts of things, so I took everything out, cleaned the space, and wiped it down.
Can you read this? Yeah, wait. What is happening?
Then I organized the toys into different Ziploc bags and boxes. For example, I put all the pieces from the pancake making set into one big bag, the pizza items in another, fruits and vegetables into a separate one. This way, it's easier for them to find and see where everything is. While I'm organizing, I like to watch videos from my YouTube subscriptions. It makes the whole process much less boring and keeps me entertained. Once everything was organized, I decided to involve the kids in putting things back in place. This way, they'd know where each toy belongs, and I'm hoping they'll keep it tidy for a while. It was a time consuming task, so Amar and Aisha helped me with putting some of the things back. No, there itself. All this kind of patrons are open, eh? Mm-hmm.
Everything, Mama.
No, all the cups on the other side.
Mama, no. Mama.
Next, I tackled the toy storage unit. I took out all the baskets, and as you can see, it was pretty messy in there too. A lot of it was stuff we didn't need, mainly old paper crafts and things from school that we could throw away. I ended up with a big bag of garbage after sorting through it all. I organized the Lego and cleared out the baskets. We don't usually buy too many toys for the kids. A lot of them are Hamid's, who's my firstborn, from when he was younger. Aisha and Omar mostly play with Hamid's old toys, so we don't have a huge amount of clutter in the toy area. The main toys the kids play with are magnetiles and building blocks. This made organizing a bit easier, and we ended up with a plenty of space in the baskets. By this point, I was pretty exhausted, so Hamid stepped in to help. He vacuumed inside the storage unit and put everything back in place. As you can see, most of the baskets are now empty. It's a great feeling to have less clutter, and even the brown basket was completely empty. I don't like having too many stuff around the house, so it was really satisfying to see everything so organized and tidy. Next, I headed to the kitchen to prepare lunch and dinner. I was really missing my mom, so I decided to make her vegetable curry, a comforting dish similar to butter chicken but with vegetables. I also made kebab rolls since the kids were craving them. So kebab rolls were for dinner, and the vegetable curry was for lunch. You can find all these recipes in my previous videos, and I'll include the link in the description. Alongside the curry, I tried something new, whole wheat bhatura. It turned out really delicious with the curry, and it was so satisfying to see the bhaturas puff up perfectly. I posted this as a reel on Instagram yesterday, and I'll add that link in the description too. I will actually also post this recipe as a YouTube shorts today or maybe tomorrow. So check it out. Here's how the vegetable curry turned out. It was delicious. I also assembled the kebabs in the homemade bread dough and kept it ready for dinner. The next day, I decided to organize some of my kitchen cabinets. This particular cabinet was a mess. It had all the storage containers from takeout food that my husband used while I was away, plus a lot of junk that I had left behind. So I took everything out, and on one side of the cabinet, it was filled with medicines. I realized many of them had expired, so I sorted through them and threw away the outdated ones. My family, especially my dad, is a strong believer in Ayurvedic medicine. We also have a bit of an inclination towards it because of that. Some of my go to Ayurvedic remedies include Danindran Guliga, which is fantastic for gastric issues and often a lifesaver. Talisul is another one I rely on for sore throats and similar issues. I also bought Brahmi capsules for improving memory, but I haven't started using them yet. Inshallah, I need to begin soon because my memory hasn't been great lately. I also tackled the space where I keep all the sauces and similar items. To my surprise, nearly half of the items were expired, so I ended up discarding all of them sadly. After returning from vacation, I needed to tend to my plants. Unfortunately, most of them didn't thrive as well as I hoped. However, this plant did really well. It grew nicely and looks, mashallah, very healthy. My Monstera, on the other hand, isn't looking great. It has some white powder on the leaves and appears droopy. So I need to address that issue soon. Another plant which was once full of healthy leaves now looks pretty sad too. But I was pleasantly surprised by this plant, Panikurka. Before leaving for Dubai, I had lost hope and it was just a stick. I kept watering it, and to my surprise, it came back with lush green leaves. It made me so happy to see its revival. Additionally, I noticed some white flowers on this spider plant, I guess, for the first time, and that was a delightful surprise. That's all in this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Until next time, bye, and thank you so much for watching.